Well, hey y'all, and welcome back to Janet being Janet. Alright, Rachel's got some explaining to do. She uploaded a video exposing everything with screenshots, and I only listened in for a couple of minutes, and I had one opinion and one opinion alone. Woman, you can kiss my arse. And if y'all want to know why I have such a strong opinion about it, y'all listen in with me.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So today in this video we are going to talk about everything. We're going to get it all out and everyone will know exactly what's happened and what's gone on. So here we go. The first thing I need to do is just mention my previous video, which was a glitch.
Exactly why is it that in almost every other video that you do, you can make contact with the camera, but this time, in this one, you're already starting out with everything looking all over the place and not wanting to address the people actually calling you out.
And Laser's reaction, when I filmed that, all of this stuff that's happened over the last 24 hours-ish hadn't happened yet. So that's why I didn't address it in that video. And I absolutely acknowledge that it was quite tone deaf to post that video and then not say anything because it looked like I was trying to move along and not address the stuff.
But yet all of this hadn't come out yet at that point, so you didn't want to address anything. If it wasn't going to come to light, why in the world would you talk about it in the first place, right? You had to wait until everybody was on almost every single social media platform there is calling you out.
Which is not what's happening. So I'm sorry to all of my audience who saw that video and was like, what the fuck, why are you not addressing this? That's what happened there, but I am addressing it now. So here we go. So my goal in this video is...
And she's only addressing it. Y'all remember this. Y'all understand this. Y'all catch this, okay? She's only addressing this because of the backlash that she's getting. Everybody is demanding answers about these Discord screenshots.
It's to basically just tell you everything I can possibly tell you, get it all out so you know exactly what there is to know, and then you can think about it and talk about it amongst yourselves in your communities and such.
And just so you know, from the moment that you start talking about Girl World or listening to Girl World, you are part of the community of Girl World. So with everybody talking about this entire situation, woman, we are talking about it in our communities.
And everybody will know what happened, because that's the goal, right? So the first thing I'm going to cover is
your goal is to yell, squirrel, and have everybody look over there instead of seeing the actual proof.
The deleted video. I'm going to just touch on this for 2 seconds. Basically, I got a privacy strike, which I suspect was from Emily, on this video here, which was my first ever Girl World video. There's pictures of Colleen, who is Amberlyn Reed's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, not sure, Emily, her deceased fiance, Colleen. There's pictures of her in that video, so that video got privacy striked. I think it was by Emily.
But you do not know that for certain, so you cannot speak on that. The one that you should be speaking on is the one where you took down yourself because Tommy's voice was in that video, and that's what caused all this drama to start with.
I missed the emails because I'm a twat, and basically YouTube took that video down. So that's where it went. I'm currently arguing with an AI person, or fuck knows who I'm arguing with, in my email about that video and trying to get it back up again. But for everybody who knows...
If you notice those daggum views, of course she's going to try to get it back up. If you run across a video that has 700,000 views, you yourself are going to wonder, what in the world was sitting there? Why is that video so daggum popular? So you're going to go watch it yourself. You know that video can get so many more views.
Noticed that's where that video went. I don't check my Gmail because I'm stupid. I just went in my YouTube studio and...
Call yourself all the names that you want to, Rachel. You're not going to get out of this. It doesn't matter what you do at this point. It's done.
Saw the notification and was like, what the fuck? So that's the notification. I'm pointing because I think I'm going to put it there. So just so everybody knows, that's...
And you know what? If I had something this serious holding down on my back, and I wasn't able just to let it roll off, there ain't no way I'd come on here laughing, smiling, giggling, smirking, doing any of that. Ain't no way. But then again, as I've told you before, there is no way that I would end up in this situation in the first place.
That's where that video went. I did not personally take that video down, and I'm trying to get it back up. So just so everybody knows. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is the Discord. So we've had loads and loads of messages and people talking about this Discord. So it's absolutely true. There was a private Discord, which consisted of a few people, and...
Hey, y'all, go ahead, before you do anything, go ahead and hit that comment section right now. Do y'all think it's appropriate for her to be laughing during this and smirking during this? Do you think it's appropriate? Because my opinion, I do not think so.
All of us trusted each other very well, and we were friends, and we were all talking about Girl World related stuff. There was all kinds of stuff in that Discord, some very interesting, juicy tea, which...
Yeah, and you're the one that paid for juicy tea, and look at what you ended up getting for it. Was it worth it, Rachel?
Still hasn't come out yet, just to be clear. So for everyone who's been wondering, I did not share everything I got at all. And some of that stuff went in that Discord. That Discord was a place where we chatted like mates. I'm sure you've all got mates. You run your mouth with your mates in a way that you wouldn't do on your public YouTube channel.
Oh, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, woman. Whenever I come on here, I tell y'all my raw opinions. I don't watch other reaction channels because I want y'all to know exactly what I feel as I'm watching the video. And it just so happens that whenever I'm in real life, you can ask anybody around me, I'm the same daggum way. I have my own opinions about absolutely everything. So if I'm going to tell y'all on the internet what I think and what I feel, I'm going to tell everybody else the same way.
But of course, it got out and everything that you guys have seen has been seen. So, of course, as you guys all know, because you've all seen, somebody who was in that Discord has no fucking backbone.
Ooh, did y'all catch that little glimpse she gave you? Did you catch that? Y'all, go back just a couple of seconds if you didn't.
Didn't want to tell me that they disagreed with my takes and instead screenshotted a load of the Discord and sent those screenshots out. They then sent all of those screenshots to someone who then shared some of that stuff. That person did not blur the face and name of some of the individuals in those screenshots who are not public figures, which I'm really angry about.
Oh, so it's Charlie Gold's fault now. Okay, so we don't need to look at Rachel anymore. Okay, we just need to go ahead and say, Charlie, this is all your fault. You're the one that posted these daggum things. You're the one that shared all these, and I know that because I went and got the screenshots myself off of X. And so Rachel's saying, don't look at me, y'all go blame Charlie.
Because some of those people have all kinds of personal stuff going on in their lives. They don't want their faces and names to be made public, and yet they were. It takes 2 seconds to blur somebody's face in a screenshot. So I think that's really fucking poor, to be honest, if I'm being honest about it. But anyway, that's,
If you're being honest about it, just so you know, if you're going to be honest, you don't have to tell people I'm going to be honest. That's kind of like telling somebody, hey, I'm a nice person. If you're a nice person, it shows. You don't say the daggum words.
Whatever, that happened, so the screenshots got out. The person who shared the screenshots, it will get out who that person was.
It absolutely will get out. And let me tell you just a little bit of something. There's another creator by the name of Salty Crab that was in that entire Discord, that private one. And it just so happened that Salty thought that it was just going to be for creators and only creators. It wasn't very shortly into that they realized, oh no, there's private citizens in here too. So they upped and skedaddled because they didn't want to get in any kind of drama like this.
And you will all be very surprised. I think I was very surprised, provided that I'm right about who I think it is, which I think I am, but obviously I won't say anything until I'm sure. But basically...
But when Salty did her video about the whole situation that was going on, Rachel went over there and made sure she got in Salty's comments.
That Discord was a bunch of people who I thought of as friends, mates, fellow creators, who would chat and spitball and bounce ideas off each other. A lot of sarcasm and stupidity was said in that chat. I am going to cover all that stuff. This is not me sweeping it under the rug and saying a lot of stuff was said. I'm going to talk about what I said. Of course, we all knew there was a chance that it might end up being made public. Nobody thought that would actually happen.
Exactly the point. You thought you were doing everything in under the sly of things, but you know what? There's no such thing when it comes to Girl World. Nope. I warned y'all all the daggum time that if you're gonna go somewhere, you're gonna say something, no matter where you're at. You better be careful, because Girl World is everywhere.
But it did happen, so here we are. So this is the timeline of what happened, and then we'll talk a little bit about the plan for this video. So this person who was in the Discord sent a bunch of screenshots from the Discord to somebody else. That person then started tweeting those screenshots and putting them into their own Discord. So that's how that all got out. Then Geordie went live last night, and I haven't actually watched this live stream, by the way. I'm filming this on the morning of Monday, whatever it is, Monday the... can't see the date, 3rd of November. I haven't watched Amber's live. I haven't watched Geordie's live.
Oh, you absolutely should have watched Amber Lynn's live. She called you out on a couple of things, and she put some things into perspective. So we're going to see if she's actually telling the truth at this moment or not.
But Geordie went live, shared this clip, okay? So Geordie shared that.
What clip? You didn't include the clip. Nope, you left it out. Even though Amber Lynn said that you're the one that gave it to Geordie. So let me tell y'all, without even going and showing it to you, Tommy and Amber Lynn are in the truck together, and Tommy is secretly recording Amber Lynn. Tommy is being all calm, nonchalant, trying to keep everything all under control. Amber Lynn, on the other hand, is over here saying, I want a hug, I want a kiss. This was when she was up in Wisconsin with Tommy. And so Amber Lynn didn't want to have to go back to Oklahoma, so she was doing everything she could to try to convince Tommy to go ahead and let her stay. And that's pretty much all that clip was. It's no big thing.
That clip. Then Amber went live and Amber said a whole bunch of stuff. I've been given a TLDR of what happened in both of those live streams, but I haven't watched either of them yet. So I really don't know what was said, but I'm not at that bit yet. So for now, we're going to talk about the Discord and all the stuff you guys want me to address, and then the like Geordie Amber.
Do y'all think that she's laughing because she's uncomfortable? Do you think that that's a possibility? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. This entire video is just rubbing me the wrong way.
Stuff can come in another video or a bit later.
Of course, why wouldn't you? Because now then you can react to what Amber Lynn had to say to you. That just means that's extra views and extra money in your pocket.
But just so you know, so far anyway, that's kind of the context of what happened. One of the main things I need to address is the money. So a bunch of screenshots were shared, and it's me being very fucking cocky about how much money I've made.
Oh yeah, you outed yourself saying that you made $3,600 off of one video.
Doing Girl World content. Hey guys, I turned this video around pretty quickly, so you might get some...
Oh, you did that because you didn't want to lose any more subscribers.
Editing Rachel bits here and there, and particularly when it comes to showing receipts, because I'm just going to chuck my own voice in over the top. So one of the main things that people have had a problem with is me making this joke about wiping my tears with banknotes. In a minute you'll see, I go into a bit more detail about it, but this is it here. So you can see Jawbone, who is a public person.
It's right down here at the very, very bottom of the screen.
Person is in the Discord, and he says something about how he's watching Geordie, and Geordie is saying he thinks me offering to pay for receipts is a nothing burger, basically. And then you can see I post a meme of Dave, who is my absolute favourite rapper. New album's amazing, by the way. Anyway.
Oh, and just in case if you're wondering, Jawbone, that's another content creator.
And then I say, love that from Geordie. And then Jawbone says, so you're not really being publicly hung, drawn and quartered. Rest easy, basically. And I say, if Geordie says it's all right, then I'm off the hook. I'll wipe my tears with banknotes.
Oh, so if Geordie says it's okay, then everybody shouldn't be coming after you right now, right? If Geordie says it's okay, everybody should be keeping their mouth shut. Exactly when did Geordie become king of Girl World? I'm just wondering, because you know what? I don't get the memos most of the daggum time.
So that is what I said about that. That's the context of all of that. Obviously, from this one screenshot, it's not immediately clear, but the vibe that Jawbone and I have, I don't know if you guys have seen any of Jawbone's content, but he's a joker. He says things tongue-in-cheek to take the piss, and that is how I spoke back to him in this Discord. Of course, I felt I was among friends. So when I made that comment, I was not talking about Beck. Beck was not relevant.
And you know what? We're going to get into the whole Beck situation. If she doesn't discuss a couple of things that was posted, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share them with you anyways.
The conversation. People are trying to make it sound like somebody said to me, oh, are you going to give the money to Beck? And I said, oh no, I'd rather wipe my tears with banknotes or some sort of bullshit.
It's kind of like you're taking into Amber Lynn's place. You know, she wipes herself with washcloths. Why not you go ahead and do it with banknotes?
That is not what happened. The part of the conversation.
How does that make you feel, Rachel? I mean, honestly, how does it make you feel? You go after Amber Lynn and you talk about Amber Lynn all the time. And we were talking about Wipegate not too long ago. And, yeah, just think about it. Think about it. You wipe with one thing, she wipes with another.
That was relating to Beck was over an hour prior, which I'm going to show you in a second. And this banknote comment had absolutely nothing to do with Beck.
You want to know who brought Beck into this entire situation? This entire scenario? That's Rachel. When Rachel did her community post talking about how Amber Lynn owed two exes money, she brought Beck into this entire thing.
Talking about Geordie, who is also somebody who takes Girl World lightly and makes lots of jokes, particularly about being paid lots of money by his viewers on their birthday and things like that. So
hey, I like to get over here and laugh and just have a good old time. I don't take Girl World serious. You can at this point. I tell you what, you're supposed to get on, Rachel, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to get on here, you're supposed to talk about it, and then you're supposed to go on with your life and continue living. You're not supposed to go ahead and start harping on things to where you get into a situation like you're in right now.
Context around me saying this line was completely nothing to do with Beck. I understand the timing of it. It comes across as extremely insensitive because about an hour prior I was deciding what to do with the money. But in a second I'll show you that screenshot and it will make...
Let's go back to that community post. I don't know if she's going to show it or not, but let me go ahead and go back to that. Whenever she was talking about donating the money or doing whatever with the money because she had to take down the video because of, you know, Tommy saying no longer and I've already done that video for you. I absolutely have. And so she got down into the comment section and the first however many comments, it's give the money to Beck, give the money to Beck, give the money to Beck. And Rachel did not acknowledge any of those daggum comments, even though that was the majority of all the reactions that she had to that post.
Make a lot more sense as well, because you'll see that I say at the end of that screenshot, I'll think about it, which I did then go on to do, and obviously I changed my mind. I'll explain a bit more about the Beck stuff and the money in a second. I'm
going to explain more about the Beck stuff too. Y'all don't worry, y'all just hold on.
Really wanted to nip this like vicious lie in the bud that when I made this joke about wiping my tears with banknotes, it had absolutely nothing to do with Beck, whose situation I empathise with so very seriously.
If y'all don't know what's going on with Beck, y'all let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do a video about the recent posts that they made about their health. They're not doing so great. They don't have a job anymore because they got let go and they can't drive. It's a whole big ordeal.
They're going through something really shitty, and it's just fundamentally untrue that this comment from me had anything to do with Beck in any way. Of course, the screenshots were shared with no context, which doesn't help because they were like grabs of wider conversations. I mean, we would talk like all day about a certain thing, so one screenshot of one section of a...
Do you not know that that's how the world works? Most people don't care about context. Absolutely don't care. They're just like, okay, we see this words. You're the one that wrote these words. This is your fault. You need to take responsibility. And that's the end of it. It doesn't matter in what way you were saying it. You said it.
A conversation doesn't really help anyone to kind of understand where people were coming from, and there's lots of little lines in various messages that people are obsessing over, but they don't know what was said prior, which got...
I'm not obsessing over a daggum thing that you wrote. 100% I'm not. But what I am going to be obsessing over is just this video while I'm doing it, and then I'm going to go on with my merry little way.
The person to say that, so the context is missing. No Girl World content creator who pulls any number of views is only doing it for the love. People don't sit in their office and edit for like hours and hours and hours a day for just for fun. They do.
This is where she chapped my backside. Let me tell you something. People, and whenever they decide that they're going to give me money down in the comment section, it doesn't matter if I'm live streaming, whatever I'm doing, I always tell everybody, keep your daggum money, because you probably need it more than anybody else does. When you watch videos on YouTube, the creator, if they're monetized, they get paid. So there's no need to give any kind of extra money their way. That's just the way, or my way, not their way, my way, I should say. I don't follow the same guidelines, but I guess since I'm not a big creator, it doesn't apply to me in her eyes.
Do it to make money, and every content creator, if you ask them if they're honest about it, they'll say, yeah, I'm doing this to make money. One of the reasons anyway is that they're doing it to make money.
Okay, and this is not my day job. It 100% ain't my day job. My horses are my day job. My kids are my day job. My husband's my day job. My house is my day job. I can continue going on and on and on and on. This right here, I do for fun. Whenever I decided that I was going to leave for a year or so, you know what? I wasn't focused on YouTube. I was focused on something major that was going on in my life. And whenever I came back, I wasn't monetized. I didn't get on here and whine to nobody. I have not once asked anybody to donate anything to me. I have not one time ever said y'all make sure and do super thanks or anything like that. I don't do things like that for a reason, because I am not your typical content creator. Can't even talk. Look at that. You got me all tongue-tied. Well, that ain't nothing new. That's the way it is over here.
Now, and it's absolutely true that that is one of the reasons I make these videos. The person who revealed all of this stuff themselves also said the same thing. They, when they revealed these screenshots, said, it's going to be a good November for me. So that person also does it for the money and was super excited to get all of these screenshots because it meant that they would make a lot of profit in November.
Oh, you knew you were going to make all kinds of profit. Just like you know you're going to make views off of this video. You're going to make views off of another video. And it's going to continue because this is what you do. It's not like me. This is not my thing. This is just me sitting down, mouthing into my microphone and having other people listen to me. That's all this is to me.
Which is exactly what I did when I got all of those screenshots from Emily. So just to point that out, the difference is that I absolutely ran my mouth in the Discord and was like, oh yeah, I've made loads of money talking about this. Now, I'm not ashamed of the fact that I've made profit. I don't think anyone should be ashamed of that.
I'm not saying that you should be ashamed of getting paid. Absolutely not. What you should be ashamed of is the motive that you use to get that paycheck.
Genuinely not, because you know, anybody who puts hours and hours and hours into something, I think, is perfectly fine and well within their rights to be pleased that they're being paid for their work. What's not fine is me saying a bunch of stuff like, oh, I'm going to wipe my tears with banknotes. The context of that conversation and all of those conversations were I was getting so much shit for offering Emily money to get tea or receipts out of her, and everybody was really, really mad at me. I was trying to make myself feel better about the situation, and
See, this is all about her. That's what she's doing this video for, is herself. She's not doing it for any other reason besides to get all the slack off her back.
Completely admit and accept it doesn't look good at all, and it's true. So I can't say anything about that. I absolutely said some very unfunny, uncouth jokes about how much profit I had made from this. That's what I said. That's why I said it. In the Discord, I discussed with people when this all happened. I think it's the 23rd of October. You can...
And y'all, don't worry if she decides she's going to strike my channel because I'm doing this reaction to her and I'm not... And it would be because I'm not agreeing with her. Because if I agreed with everything she said and if I kissed her backside, then of course she wouldn't do any kind of strike against me. But you know what? If she runs across this one, it is a possibility.
See a screenshot where I am saying giving the money to Beck doesn't feel right. I'm not sure what to do about it. If I give it to a charity, I can write it off on my taxes. And it's absolutely true. I did say that stuff. So when I made my community post, all those top comments were people saying, give the money to Beck, give the money to Beck. And I was like, that feels icky, because if I'm taking money that I got by sharing somebody else's DV story and then I give it to Beck.
Okay, but you need to address the whole thing of you were supposed to split it with Tommy. Then you said that you had to take it down because Tommy is the one that pulled the video. So you're no longer going to give the money to Tommy. You were going to give the money to a charity instead. Tommy says, this is according to Amber Lynn, Tommy says, oh no, give it to a charity close to me. And you said, oh no, I don't want to do that. Everybody else was saying, give the money to Beck. So you are the one that was ignoring all the comments in the first place saying, go ahead and give the money to Beck. Beck needs the money. Beck can use the money. This is all on you, Rachel. You can't put it on anybody else.
That just felt strange to me. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'm not going to fucking lie about that. At first, this is on the 23rd of October when I was having this conversation, I was like, is Beck even going to want that money? Is that going to make Beck feel uncomfortable?
Are you kidding me? Beck is on their post on their community page. And they are constantly putting their Venmo down there, their PayPal, whatever other kind of source of payment they can possibly get because they need it at this moment. They really, really need the money. They can't do anything else for themselves. They can't drive. They're going back and forth to the doctor. They're not going to work. So, of course, in my opinion, Beck, of course, would enjoy having the money. It would probably take a little bit of a stress off of her. Them. My bad. I'm sorry. Them. I was thinking about Rachel.
Do I actually want to give money from one ex to a different ex? It all just felt a bit icky. I was very conscious. I was in the mud. And I was like, is this just flinging further mud? Just putting myself more into the situation, and I didn't want to do it. I felt really uncomfortable. Hi, me again. So this is the screenshot you can see on the right hand side here. This is you'll see in a second. When I was actually filming this script, I hadn't grabbed these screenshots yet, which is why I keep having to get myself editing Rachel to come in and talk about this.
Yeah, you jumped into making this daggone video. You jumped head first into making it, and this is just nothing but a big huge ramble.
But you can see on the right hand side there, that's the conversation I was having. And this is the part of the Discord where I was discussing what to do. Should I give it to Beck? Should I give it to a charity? And I explain here that I feel uncomfortable. And you can see there's a message where I say it feels cleaner to give it to charity.
No, it actually says I might do a poll and then blame it on that. I don't know. What she was going to do was post a poll. Do I give it to charity or do I give it to Beck? And she was hoping that it went to charity so that she would be able to write it off. But if she would look at her comment section underneath that post, like I said, it was all give it to Beck.
That's what I'm referring to there. It just felt like I was getting even more entangled by giving the money to Beck. This is before I'd gone through the thought process and changed my mind. Just to be really clear, the date is very visible on the screenshot. You can see this is prior to me making the video that
I don't care. This does not answer the whole thing of why did you decide that you were going to heart all the comments down there that did not say give the money to Beck. The ones that said give the money to Beck, you did not even acknowledge.
I made later where I told everyone, oh no, I've actually made the decision, and in a minute I'll tell you more about how I came to that decision. And if you look at the bottom of this screenshot here, you can see the last message is me saying I'll think about it, which I absolutely did go on to do because obviously I changed my mind. You can also see the timestamp on...
You didn't change your mind. The people changed your mind. You didn't do that on your own. You didn't sit down and make a conscious decision to go ahead and send that money to Beck. That is not something you did.
This screenshot says 7:30, so this is like an hour before the comment about wiping my tears with banknotes. And by the time we got to that part of the conversation, the topic had completely changed and was not about Beck whatsoever. Just to make it very clear to everyone, although these were on the same Discord, the two messages were completely unrelated. I was like, I don't know if Beck's even going to want it. Amber owes Beck the inheritance money, and I think Amber needs to pay Beck back. That was my knee-jerk.
And you know what? Amber Lynn also owes Beck the money from the live stream error. And whenever Beck got kicked out, because of course, you know, Wifey was already living there when Beck got kicked out. They got kicked out with only a couple $100, and it was barely enough to get them out of the daggum apartment.
Gut reaction when that all first happened, I was like, this feels a little bit strange to me, okay? But then I reread my community post, I reread all of you guys' comments, and I was like, no, it actually does make sense for me to give this money to Beck. And
see, that's the thing. That's the thing. She avoided at all costs that entire daggum section. And people kept going back saying, hey, look at this, look at this. You had other creators making videos, me included, saying I would give the money to Beck. All these different people started saying, you need to give Beck the money. Then all of a sudden, once you started getting so much backlash, that's when you decided, okay, yeah, it'd be a good idea to give it to Beck.
the reason that it made sense, and this is why I changed my mind, and this is the main reason I changed my mind, I saw this comment. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. If I can find it, I'll put it here. I may not be able to. But somebody said, you mentioned Beck as one of your reasons for offering Emily money in the first place. And that is why you should give it to Beck, because you literally...
I've already brought this up. I already had this whole thing going. I knew exactly where this whole situation was going to.
Mention Beck in this post. And I was like, you're totally right, I do. In the post, and when I made this initial offer to Emily about the finance video, I say to her, this will be so fucking good because it will help other exes who've been screwed over financially by Amber, because...
Other exes? What are you going to do about Crystal's parents? Absolutely not a daggum thing. Destiny, she made sure she got her daggum money out of Amberlynn. Amberlynn was paying her rent at one point. So what other exes are you talking about? It's just Emily and it's Beck. And let me tell you something. Amberlynn owes a lot more money to Beck than she ever will to Emily.
Like Beck, for example, who is owed the inheritance money back. So my impetus for offering Emily this money was so that she would make the finance video with me, send me all of the proof of Amber being a tight ass and all the other stuff.
And you didn't get your proof, now did you? So you did all of this for absolutely nothing. Oh wait, you did get you $3,600, didn't you?
Which I never actually got. But the point is that my goal was to kind of help the other exes and be like, guys, look, Beck's not the only one she owes money to. That was my goal, right? So when I read this comment, I was like, oh, yeah, that was what I was trying to do. That was the point of it. And it made...
I still don't understand all the other exes. Is she trying to say that there's something going on with Erica? Do you remember Valentine, the one that Amberlynn never met, but they just kind of, quote unquote, dated? Y'all remember that? Yeah, see, some of this just ain't making no sense.
Made me realise, oh yeah, of course I should give the money to Beck. And then Beck also made a further community post where they talk about their surgery and such. And I was like, oh yeah, ding, 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 light bulb moment. It makes complete perfect sense to give this money to Beck. So I changed my mind.
So if you give the money to Beck, you can't write it off on your taxes, can you? Because you're not going to have any kind of receipt.
And I decided, oh yeah, of course I'll give it to Beck. That makes perfect sense. So in that screenshot that you've seen where I'm saying, oh, it feels kind of icky, I'm not sure about doing that, I don't think I want to, and also I mentioned the tax benefit of it all, that was before I had gone through that thought process.
So not only did you make money off of the video whenever you posted it, everybody watched it, you did it as a premiere, so everybody was super chatting you during that premiere, so you made money that way as well. You were going to wait until the following year, and you were going to make even more money off of it by writing it off on your daggum taxes.
So yeah, there is a screenshot out there of me saying...
See, let me tell you something. This is one reason why I like being a small channel. So people cannot accuse me of things like this. If I was to ever get as big as Rachel or as big as Hecticana, as big as Jordy, as big as... I would really, really hope that I would stay true to who I am. And I would never sell out for any amount of money. And I would keep my hands clean.
Saying, I don't know if I'm going to give this money to Beck, it feels wrong, because that is how I felt at one point. And so the timing of all of this has been like purposefully twisted by this individual to try and make me look as bad as possible, when actually what happened was not like this at all. For example,
which individual? The person that leaked the messages, or is it the person that posted the messages? Which one was it, Rachel? You got to clarify just a little bit on some things.
This person's made this comment where they say Beck shares detailed updates about their devastating medical and financial situation. Rachel blames Beck for making a deal to pay thousands to an active death feeder who's publicly gifting food to dying addicts, and then implies that it'd be icky and unethical. So the timing of what happened there is completely wrong. So Beck made their community post 5 days ago.
if y'all, like I said, if y'all want me to do a video over Beck's post, y'all just go ahead and let me know, and I'll be happy to do that for you, because I know a lot of people don't keep up with them, and so they're going through a lot. 100%, they're going through a lot.
And I made those comments in the Discord on the 23rd of October, which was way before Beck had given this update. I also did not blame Beck whatsoever. I said that Beck could benefit from everybody knowing that Amber also abused financially. And
how would Beck benefit off of everybody knowing this information? How would Beck benefit at all? Any way, any form, fashion, how? How would Beck benefit off of your video if it wasn't for you giving Beck money?
other ex, which is absolutely true. But obviously when you lay it out like this, it sounds like that would be really awful if that's what happened, but that's absolutely not what happened. Those comments that you can see me make in the Discord where I'm not sure what to do were made before Beck made their post on their community tab, just to be really fucking clear.
Okay, let me tell you something. Beck's been making community post tabs for a long time now. And if you go back to after she stopped, I'm so sorry. If you go back to when they stopped posting on their channel, actually making content on their channel, you'll start seeing where the community posts start popping up where they're saying that, you know, they could use the money. They actually need the money.
About what actually happened here. So I made that decision, and I had further conversations in that same Discord where I said, guys, I think this is what I'm going to do. But those screenshots weren't shown. So it's just kind of funny to me that only bits that make me look really bad have been.
Absolutely none of this is funny. I don't care. I seriously, I don't care. None of this is funny in any form, fashion, way, or how.
Been shown. There was all these parts of the Discord where you can see me being like, oh, I don't know what to do. Is this the right thing? I don't want to be a dick. So there was loads of that which never got shown. Only little bits that make me look really fucking bad.
Guess what? Welcome to Girl World. Nobody was going to take these daggum screenshots to you and say, hey, guess what? I need you to put all of these in context. I want you to tell me exactly what happened. I want you to explain each and every single one of these. Nobody did that. Of course, Charlie's going to do her own daggum video on it. And of course, Charlie's going to make bank on it. And look at you. You're just sitting here smiling because this ain't nothing on your back right now, is it?
were shown with no fucking context. So anyway, that is what happened there. I discussed it all, and that's what you can see there. It's before I made the decision, and it's me umming and ahhing, and I absolutely did. I totally did. I did not know what to do, but I landed on the right decision in the end. And the comment that I make about the tax break is absolutely true. If I had donated that money directly to a domestic violence charity in the UK, not only could I have gift aided the donation, so
well, why wouldn't you go ahead and gift it to one closer to Tommy? Why wouldn't you do that? Or why wouldn't you let Tommy go ahead and choose which one? If what Anne Boleyn is saying is correct, if in fact it is correct, then it should have been up to Tommy on who you donated it to.
25% would be added to it by the UK government, but I could also have written that off on my taxes. I could have deducted that amount from my profit on my taxes. I absolutely could have. But that doesn't matter. What matters is doing the right thing with the money. But the point is that I absolutely did have that thought process. But, as I've said, this was before I made the final decision. So I just think it's important.
You see her smirking? She's still smirking and she's still smiling. She did not make this decision. When you say that you're going to post a poll and you hope the poll goes one way, knowing exactly which way that poll is going to go, you are defeating the purpose.
And I do think it matters that I decided the right thing in the end. People are allowed to go through a thought process. They're allowed to spitball their ideas and thoughts off the people around them before they come to a decision. That is healthy. What is not healthy is taking screenshots of that conversation, sharing them, and trying to spin a different point of view when you yourself don't know the context.
And you know what else is not healthy? Another thing that's not healthy is getting yourself in deep whenever it comes to Girl World. Doing anything with Anne Boleyn. Don't do anything one-on-one with anybody that has anything to do with Anne Boleyn Reid. You're going to get yourself burnt.
And haven't seen the wider conversation. A final point on the Beck stuff as well is that I've reached out to Beck, both on Instagram and on YouTube, and they have not replied to me. So I'm a little bit nervous of what to do, because I could just PayPal the money over, but then Beck will just receive this random money and be like, what the hell?
Absolutely not, because you can put a memo on there. You can let them know exactly what it is. You can say, hey, you know what? This is Emily's part of a video that I did, and instead of giving it to DV, I'm going to give it to you. It's pretty simple. You're coming up with an excuse that isn't even valid.
Unexpectedly, and I don't know if that could have certain problems for them. I don't know if they get any benefits or anything, and if receiving a chunk of money might be an issue.
No, they've actually posted on their community tab that they could use money. That anybody who wants to donate to them, please feel free to donate. If they were going to get in any kind of trouble for getting donations sent to them, they wouldn't be posting things like that.
I guess on PayPal it would be fine. But yeah, Beck has not replied to me, so I am like not sure what to do about that. I'm going to give them the money, don't worry.
Maybe Beck don't even know who in the crap you are. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe Beck's got so much going on in their life that they don't even care. At this point, they're focusing on themselves and they're not focusing on girl world drama.
Sorry, but the question is like, how? And Beck hasn't even said if they for sure want the money. So if anybody has like a way to contact Beck, that would be awesome if you could get me in there. The money is going to Beck, which is the right decision. I stand by that decision. I also stand by the fact that I went through a thought process to come to that decision. And when that money is given to Beck, I will absolutely tell everyone.
She is never, ever going to convince me that she made this decision on her own. It does not matter what she shows me. It does not matter what she says. I do not, 100% do not believe that she made this decision on her own circumstances. Because she even proved it in that screenshot before that she was going to post a poll and she was hoping it didn't go Beck's way.
A lot of stuff that still needs to be covered. We've done the Discord and now we're going to get into some of the other things. So number one is the flirting. Screenshots have been shared that show me saying that I flirted with Emily to get the tea. And I did say that. The screenshots are real, as I've already said. And I think this is kind of funny and I'm going to just touch on this now. So I wanted the tea. I run a Girl World YouTube channel. So getting receipts and proof about one of the girls is super, super valuable to me. It's valuable monetarily, obviously, because I make profit off the videos.
Is it worth it, Rachel? Is it worth it? Was it worth it? Look at what has happened to you. You are getting exposed bigger than anything. You're saying you're the one exposing everything? Oh, no. You have already been exposed.
All of that stuff is super valuable. My goal is to analyse the girls the best way I possibly can. So in order to do that, I want to see the proof. And I'm not going to lie about that. I absolutely do.
Amberlynn shows you proof of who she is every single day that she uploads. Every single day that she exists, she shows you proof of who she really is. I didn't need any kind of proof from Emily. I don't need any kind of text messages from Emily to know who Amberlynn is. I automatically know exactly what that woman is.
And it is completely true that during my texting with Emily, I was much kinder to her than I might have otherwise been. I was much nicer. I was much more jokey. I sent some winky face. Actually, I don't even know if I sent winky faces, but I definitely was somewhat more amenable to her than.
In other words, you were flirting with her to get what you wanted and to get your benefits out of it, and you didn't care how low you had to go.
I could have been because I wanted her to feel comfortable with me and give me all of the proof, right? I don't think anybody is going to send somebody else like 150 screenshots, videos, various other stuff without you making them feel comfortable.
No. Why? If you have to make somebody feel comfortable with you, that says a whole lot. If somebody is going to talk to you, have any kind of communication with you, they should immediately feel comfortable talking to you. They should feel comfortable about who you are as a person, as a creator. I tell y'all all the daggum time, y'all don't have to agree with me. You don't have to watch me. If y'all don't like what I have to say, that is perfectly okay. We're allowed to have difference of opinions. But if you truly do not connect with me or anything that I stand for, y'all are more than welcome to go find another reaction channel. There are so many of them, but go somewhere where you feel yourself that you fit.
So I describe that as flirting in the Discord, and I probably stand by that. I definitely did flirt with her a little bit. I don't give a fuck about that. I think flirting so that you can make more money is totally normal. People do it when they're bartenders, burlesque dancers, so many different professions.
In other words, let me go ahead and explain this off and slop it on to something else because you know what? I don't want to roll around in the mess. That's exactly what she's doing to you.
Be a bit nicer than you want to be to somebody because you're trying to get ahead in your career. This is one thing that I'm not going to kind of recant on because I think that flirting with somebody is literally no big deal. I think that people having...
If you are in a relationship with somebody and you're flirting with somebody else, I think it's a big deal.
Huge problem with me flirting with somebody a tiny bit to get more information is like kind of weird. Like, why do you care who I flirted with? Now I understand the argument is that she's a death feeder and that's why I shouldn't have flirted with her. If you saw this alleged not alleged, because you said that you were flirting with her. You just said that. You said you were not going to apologize for that. You were going to stand by that. flirting, you'd be like, oh, because it was literally nothing. I just personally think that it's no big deal. If you feel that it's a huge deal, that's cool. That's your opinion, and you're genuinely within your rights to have that. And
now, you remember this, Rachel. Everything in here is my opinion and only my opinion, and I'm allowed to have mine just the same way everybody else is.
And I support you having a different opinion from me, right? Because that's what life is all about. I'm not trying to be in an echo chamber, but I just want to say my view on my own actions in that situation is that me flirting with somebody to get more tea is really no big deal, and it happens in...
Question is, are you in a relationship? That's the question. Are you with someone else? Is your spouse okay with you, or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever the case may be? I'm not for sure. I don't go in that deep with anybody. And so are they okay with it? Is it okay? Do you feel yourself that it is okay? All right, there's a question for you.
In a multitude of jobs, and if you think it doesn't, you're objectively wrong. People have said all kinds of wild and hilarious things about me and Emily falling in love. I think a lot of that was said in Amber's live, which I'm going to react to probably in my next video.
And see, there you go, cha-ching, cha-ching. She is to make another video for everybody to watch so that she can hopefully get her subscribers back. But you know what? Here's the thing. When somebody shows you who they are, don't give them another chance to show you a different side, because once you see them, you see them.
But it's absolutely not true. I have a hard line that I'm not talking about my girlfriend. That is nobody's business. I do not choose to monetize information about my girlfriend or make my girlfriend public.
But yet you choose to monetize Amber Lynn's ex-girlfriends. Okay, all right, we see how this goes.
It is a hard line for me that I will not be discussing my girlfriend, my relationship, but what I will say is that this speculation that Emily and I fell in love or anything like that is absolutely laughable, and that is not what happened. But when I react to Amber's live...
Oh, so is that what you've been laughing about this entire video? Man, because the situation is just laughable altogether with you? Man, like I said, to each their own.
Live, I think I'll talk more about that then, because I think she's the one who tried to kind of peddle that narrative, so we'll talk about that later. Hello, I had the section where I talk about Beck a bit later in the video, but I've ended up grabbing that section and moving it backwards, so now I talk about my screenshots between myself and Emily, but just to make it clear, there's a little like awkward cut here because I moved the Beck section to be in line with the rest of the money section because the structure of the video made no sense.
See, usually she has everything planned out in all of her videos. Everybody says she's so thorough and thorough. She does all kinds of research. She's always on point. And now you look at this one and it's like, oh, my bad. Oops, my bad. Oops, my bad. Here I am. I'm having to add this in. I have to say this. Oh, I need this. This one was not thought out because she wanted to jump on the bandwagon as fast as she possibly could. She didn't want to hemorrhage any more subscribers.
So now I'm about to start talking about my decision to not give the money to Emily and the discussion that I had with Emily. In this Discord, I shared screenshots of the conversation between myself and Emily where I tell her that I'm not going to be giving her the money. Someone has threatened to share these screenshots and they're getting all high and mighty and excited that they've got these screenshots. So I'm going to show them to you instead, and then that person can talk about them if they want to, just like every other reactor is maybe going to. I personally think it's quite fucking boring. I'm going to show you them and you can do with them what you will.
Now, I've seen a couple of the screenshots. I don't know exactly what she's going to talk about, but I tell you one thing, I was definitely going to bring them to you because a couple of them are pretty interesting.
So here they are. I've just realised whilst editing that there are two screenshots which I somehow didn't cover in the video, so I'm just going to pop them here for you now. So this is the part of the conversation where I tell Emily that I'm not going to be giving her the money, basically.
So we're just going to go ahead and read this. This has all been very hard for me, and I feel like now I don't have your support either. You told me I could trust you. I haven't unfollowed you. I've been following you for over a year. I understand why you feel frustrated, but my worry is that I cannot trust you, won't go back and talk to Amber because you have done that before, and I will look like a total mug for having defended you. I have showed your side of the story to basically everyone in Girl World, which has worked to your benefit. You threatened to go to reaction channels when you spoke with Amber, and now you've done it. And it has benefited you by getting your proof out, which is what you wanted. I have put my reputation on the line to get the truth out, and because I wanted to support a DV victim. It has always been about getting the truth out there via proof. I'm not on anyone's side. I am on the side of proving what really happened. That's what I've always said. I'm going to try to read these the best way I possibly can. Y'all excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read them off my screen here. I understand. I know you don't trust my word, but I am not going back to Amber. I'm not sure who is telling you that I'm talking to her, but clearly they are trying to stir the pot. I'm putting this entire chapter of my life behind me. I've been hurt by her. And I don't even. Oh, thank you for telling my side of the story. I truly do appreciate it. Are you still going through with your word to split the AdSense with me? I'm going to assume you're ghosting me now. And Rachel says, I'm sorry, I thought I was blocked. And then there's a voice note, and then it continues on to, no worries, I think you should make a public statement on your own platform to inform people that it wasn't you. I think our communications have skewed my judgment and impartially towards the situation. I think it is best we stop speaking.
This is the start of the conversation. Emily got annoyed at me and was like, why did you unfollow me? Which I didn't. It was kind of strange. By this point in time, she had changed her profile picture and stuff and deleted everything on her Instagram. So you can see in the right hand side screenshot, I thought that I had.
And when that happened, everybody thought that she deleted her entire Instagram, but she didn't do that. What she did was deleted all the content on her Instagram.
Been blocked, so I didn't bother replying. But you can see here my reasoning for not giving her the money. So I say, I've been followed. I didn't unfollow you. I've been following you for over a year. I understand why you feel frustrated, but my worry is that I cannot trust that you won't go back and talk to Amber because you've done that before.
And I'm not going to say, I'm going to fast forward through this part since I already read it. Like I said, I haven't watched this. This is just my raw emotion with you.
And I will look like a total mug for having it. You threatened to go to reaction channel, have realised in this exactly what she truth out because I wanted to support what really happened. I'm not sure who they were talking videos. I've literally victim of Lisa that she was grateful that I let her put her voice note in my video. She was pleased with the video. She was glad that her side of the story, her version of events, got out via the voice note. And then she asks me, are you still going to go through with your word to split the AdSense with me? I'm going to assume you're ghosting me now. And I say, hey, sorry.
Okay, I want to know what the voice note says. That's what I want to know.
I thought I was blocked. She then sent me this voice note where she claims that she's not the one who privacy struck Alex's shook, which I have no idea if that's true, but then you can see that this is my reply to that, and then I'll let main video Rachel pick back up. There's this screenshot. This is the first one. I think there's 9 of them, so we'll get.
I hope she actually reads these daggum things so I ain't got to read them to you.
Through them. They are honestly boring, but we'll talk about it. So here's the conversation. We'll start here. So Emily told me that she is not the one who's making the privacy complaints. That's what she said, and then this is my response, and this is where we are. So I say, no worries, I think you should make a public statement on your own platform to inform people that it wasn't you who made the privacy complaints. I think our communications have skewed my judgment and impartiality towards the situation, and I think it's best we stop speaking. And that's absolutely true. She was telling me all kinds of stuff about herself, about Amber, and it was getting very difficult to tell what was true and what wasn't true. And having her...
Well, did you expect her to tell you the truth about absolutely everything? Is that what you expected? Did you, you didn't expect for Tommy to blur the lines whatsoever at all. You're flirting with Tommy. You had this going on with Tommy, but you didn't expect any kind of repercussion. Okay. This shows your maturity level right here. I'm sorry, guys. It does.
In my ear, whilst I was trying to make content for you guys, was just weird and it felt uncomfortable. And when I say that it skewed my judgment and impartiality, what I meant was the fact that I wanted more tea from her meant that I couldn't be as critical about her as I wanted to, as I've already told you guys. So that's what I mean when I say that. And I say it's best we stop speaking. By the way, just to be clear, this is the last conversation Emily and I ever had. You're going to...
Oh, I can tell. Look down at the bottom. It gives you the option to unblock or delete.
Get up to and including the end of the conversation. So I say, while I understand this decision will be disappointing to you, I can't in good faith pay you for the video where I shared your story because I heavily suspect that you had other motives for speaking to me besides getting your story out as a DV victim.
And so this right here goes off of what Amber Lynn said then. Because Amber Lynn is the one that stated the whole thing of you were fine with talking to Tommy until you realized that Tommy and Amber Lynn were still talking. Then you decided, oh, no, I don't like that. So you decided that you were going to be done with it and not give Tommy any money. Okay, all right, I see where Amber Lynn's coming from.
I feel I've been a pawn in a bigger game between you and Amber and that my good intentions have been somewhat used. That's the reasoning that I gave her. I thought I was sharing her story, but actually that's not really what was going on. She was using me and my channel and...
No, you were using her just as well. So y'all two deserve each other and exactly what's happening to both of y'all.
My angle to try and attack Amber. She didn't actually want to get her story out, clearly, because she was still in fucking cahoots with Amber, which just pissed me off because I was like, don't talk to me.
Ooh, Oh, so you're admitting it. You absolutely are admitting it. Listen to you. That jealousy is just shining right through.
Me about how you're such a victim and you feel so awful, and then run back and have a chin wag with the person who did it to you. The whole thing just felt strange. So I say, in light of the recent developments, I know it would be a disappointment to my audience, and I can't be sure confirmation of any payment wouldn't end up getting back to Amber and then be used against me. I'm pleased we were able to show the proof to the audience, but I don't think it's appropriate for me to make a payment to you. Instead, I will make a donation to a violence charity. I have to safeguard my integrity with my...
Oh, so this just keeps going. Okay, but like I said, she's already got her blocked.
My audience, this is something I'm not willing to risk. Thank you for understanding, and I wish you all the best. Now that obviously, it makes me look like a total idiot because I'm saying here that I want to safeguard my integrity with my audience, and that's absolutely true.
And now look at you. Now look at you. Now we all got a reason to laugh at you. Ooh, don't you dare ever, guys. I'm telling you, don't mess with Girl World. It is something you don't want to get messed up in.
I knew that if you guys knew that I had paid Emily for this, that you would be so angry with me. There was no way I was going to pay her. And then Emily says, then I want the video taken down because it's done nothing but cause me problems. I'm not going to make a statement. I'm not posting anything to social media. I'm being harassed. People are calling my family. Everyone is talking about me, about reporting me now because Hector Kana posted about it. And now you're not staying true to your word. How would you like if someone did that to you? I feel like I've been used and exploited. I'm not talking to Amber. This is just your excuse to go back on your word. Unbelievable.
Okay, but now then we do know that Amber Lynn and Tommy were talking and they both apologized to each other, and that's the reason why Amber Lynn made the community post that she made.
So that she says she's being harassed and she wants the video taken down, when I posted the video, Emily was pleased with it. She was completely fine with the video when she thought she was being paid, and then when she realised she wasn't going to get paid, suddenly she blamed the video for her being harassed.
But you said you took it down, and see, you changed everything. Y'all go back and listen to my videos that I did on the text messages. Go back and listen to those, and you'll understand my thought pattern here.
Which is completely unfair. She says, you say you're sharing a victim story, then turn around and not believe me after you make money off me, all while you're worried about your reputation. Come on, Rachel. She had no problem with anybody making any money, all the while she thought she was getting some of it. As soon as I said, sorry, it's not going to you, she clearly feels that she's been screwed over. And you guys know.
And you feel like you were kind of over as well because you didn't get the tea that you thought you were going to get. So you wasted some of your time, didn't you? Especially if Tommy wanted Amber Lynn and not you.
What happened? And I say, as stated prior, I feel a similar way. My intention was to share your story, which has been achieved. You receiving a payment from me will have no tangible effect to your complaints above, which I sympathise with, talking about her being harassed or whatever. The purpose of this was for you.
If Tommy's with Amber Lynn, of course, anybody that's with Amber Lynn is going to get harassed, okay? It's just going to happen. It's just a thing. That's why I said you don't ever get close to Amber Lynn. Don't ever get close to anybody that's ever been around Amber Lynn or ever will be around Amber Lynn, because it just all gets nasty and gritty.
You to clear up information and share your story, not to make a profit. I do not in any way support you being harassed, doxxed, or having your family contacted. I have not contributed towards or encouraged this behaviour. A donation of half the total AdSense of this video, less 19% for taxes, will be made to a domestic violence charity. I will not benefit financially from this decision.
Ooh, you are benefiting from it. You are bragging over on Discord, or you were bragging that you made money off of this video. Just like right now, as I'm watching this video, it has almost 40,000 views, and that's as I'm talking about this video right here. She knows that doing this one is going to bring in views, and she knows doing one over responding to Amber Lynn is bringing in views as well. And I don't know if I'm going to watch the one where she responds to Amber Lynn. I really don't know if I'm going to be honest with you. And see, I can say to be honest with you because I always am honest with you.
So, as I say, I was going to give it to charity. That's what I wanted to do, okay? Emily did not want that money to go to charity. No matter what Amber tells you, that is not the case. And you can...
How do you know what Amber Lynn said? If you didn't watch Amber Lynn's live stream, how do you know what she said?
See it here. Emily says, Rachel, I need to be very clear. I did not consent for my personal experience to be used for profit or public content without fair compensation. You agreed there will be a payment in connection with the video, and I participated in good faith under that understanding. Redirecting that payment elsewhere without my consent does not remove your obligation to compensate me.
Okay, so y'all listening to her right now, do y'all think she's already watched Amber Lynn's video? Or do you think somebody just told her the little bitty tidbits of it? What do y'all think? Leave it in the comments below.
This video has, so I'll pause there for a second. So she doesn't want the money to go to charity. She wants the money, okay? Which, you know.
And just like she wanted the money, you wanted your money too.
Oh, cool. She's trying to make it sound here like she didn't give consent for the clip, the voice note, sorry, not the clip, the voice note, and her side of the story to be used for content without compensation. That's not true. She gave me full consent to share the voice note prior to the misunderstanding.
And where is that at? Show that text message.
Which then followed, where we changed our agreement and I said, oh, it's fine, don't worry, we'll just split this upcoming video. But that upcoming video was already in motion and I already had consent, as I said in my community post. So she's trying to make it sound here.
I remember the community post. Like I said, I'll try to link it at the end of this video.
Like she only let me use the voice note because I agreed to pay her. That is not what happened. She was already letting me use the voice note and then the agreement was moved to split the money from a finance video. And we said, oh, it's okay, we'll just split this upcoming video instead.
And so the finance video never came out. So look at what you got yourself into, Rachel. Look at you. Look at you. You just keep digging in that hole just bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to end up being just a whole big, huge, big backhoe. That's what it is. It's going to be that kind of dump right there.
Which was already existing and I already had consent for that video. She then says this video has directly led to harassment and harm, including people contacting my family. That's not true. She was being contacted already. She thanked me for the video when I made it. As soon as she realized she's not getting paid, she's mad about it.
Hey, we can't believe anything you say. I'm so sorry, guys. We can't believe anything she says. I want to see proof, or I can't. I'll speak for me alone. I can't believe anything she says. I want to see proof of absolutely everything.
She says it has not been beneficial to telling my story, which is not true because I literally played a voice note of her voice. So if that's not sharing her story, I literally don't know what is. She says you just acknowledged that used my story, generated AdSense income, and that I've asked for it to be taken down. Continuing to keep it public while refusing payment is both unethical and a misuse of my story. Then I say, I reply shortly, I'm just about to go into blank and can't reply for a few hours. I'm not ignoring you and I will send a reply. If these screenshots get shared by another party and that word is not blanked out, I am going to be absolutely fucking livid because that covered up word there is a very private, very personal thing that I do in my spare time. And
so you would know somebody else is talking to Tommy and you wouldn't want anybody else sharing the information between you and Tommy, now would you? You want to share it just on your channel because that means you get the views alone.
If that gets out because some person doesn't know how to edit a screenshot, I am going to be, or how to respect somebody else's genuinely private matters that have got nothing to do with the internet, I will be absolutely livid. And so I just hope that whoever shares these screenshots, if they've got, because I know they're out there, if you don't cover up that word, you're just a fucking loser. Emily says,
and you cannot pass any kind of judgment on that whatsoever at all. If you wrote it to somebody and somebody has those words, let me tell you something, if they share them, there ain't nothing you can do.
I'll be waiting for your response. And then I come out and I say this: hi Emily, I've genuinely been considering your request, which is true. However, I believe taking down this video will open you up to further unwanted discussion and speculation, which it did. As soon as I privated that video, she got so much shit, and so did I. Everybody was like,
and it's because of the post that you made. You did it. You wrote it, Rachel.
Why are you making her take this video down? You already gave consent. That's what I was trying to avoid when I said, let's just leave it now. Let's not private the video. But she wanted it privated. I say, I think it would be best for this money to go to DV victims who will benefit from.
You could have privated that video and not said a daggum word. You could have if you really wanted to, but that's not what you did.
From it. If you still have concerns about the video being public, I'm sure YouTube has a process you can follow. Rest assured, the aforementioned donation will still be made. So that's me basically saying to her, if you want the video down, you can privacy strike it. She then says, Rachel, I need to be very clear about how wrong this is. I shared my personal story and details with you under the agreement that I would be compensated. So that is not true. I was sent her story, the screenshots, the voice note, ages and ages before any mention of money was.
Now y'all remember, seriously, y'all remember, Tommy is still talking to other reaction channels behind the scenes. Tommy is still sharing stuff with other reaction channels. And just me, I would be afraid to even talk to Tommy.
Was ever made. So that is not true. Then she says, that was part of the understanding from the start. Again, not true. You assured me multiple times that I would be. I also made it clear that without that agreement, it would not be worth it for me to share something so personal and painful. That's just completely not true. You went forward, used my story publicly, then decided after the video was posted.
Goodness gracious, Tommy went in, didn't she? Goodness gracious.
Posted to take that agreement back. That is not acceptable. You shared private information about me under a false sense of trust and benefit. This is not about speculation or donations. It's about ethics and respect. You profited from my vulnerability and are now trying to frame it as something else. I'm asking you to take accountability and make this right. Her trying to say that this...
No, what did you clip out there? What did you edit out there? I want to know what you really had to say.
This whole thing was me profiting from her vulnerability. I think is kind of wild because she's the one who wanted all of this stuff out there. That's why.
Okay, so let me get this right. She wanted it out there. So therefore, Tommy came to you. Tommy said, okay, let me go ahead and share all this with you so you can make a video so that you can profit off of it, and then therefore I can profit off of it. So that's actually what happened, because that's what you're trying to portray it as. That's the way I'm seeing it and the way I'm hearing it.
Why people speak to reaction channels, right? They want to get things out. So saying I profited from her vulnerability, I don't feel that that is an accurate characterization of what happened there. And then we get into the fabulous thinly.
If Tommy was the one to come to you, why would you have to flirt with her to get more? Question.
Veiled threats. It's clear you're worried about how this might affect your image and reputation if people found out you paid me, but what would actually look worse than agreeing to pay me and then backing out after the video was already posted, all while profiting off it yourself? It doesn't really.
She calling you out? Absolutely calling you out, because look at your reputation right now. And you know what? Here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Here's honesty for you. All right, people can do some of the most shystiest thing in this community. They really can. And then it'll turn around and sometime will die down, and then all of the drama will die down, and all of the subs will go back up. All the views will go back up. You just have to sit back and weather the storm. And I know that's sad to say, but it is that way.
Really matter which one looks worse. Paying her was worse, so I didn't do it. And then she says, I'm not looking to make this public. I've kept everything private and respectful with you, but I trusted you to handle this with honesty and integrity, and you have not. You promised compensation for my time and vulnerability. You used my story publicly. You can still make this right, quietly and respectfully. So that, I feel, is her basically trying to say, I'm not trying to make this public, let's keep it quiet. And I felt anyway when I read that message, that was her almost threatening to go public with this, and her saying,
isn't it amazing how you can take one message and one person will read it one way and another person will read it another way, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about the way the other person takes it?
Here, you promised compensation for my time and vulnerability. That's not true. I promised compensation for receipts relating to Amber owing Emily money, and then after the fact, I changed my mind and agreed.
Who cares? Who cares if Amberlynn owes Emily any kind of money? I mean, me personally, I don't. I'm sorry, y'all may, but I know who Amberlynn is. I know how Amberlynn is, and I understand that if she can take advantage of somebody, she's most definitely going to.
That instead of splitting money on that video, we could just split the money on the upcoming video, which, as I've said, was already in motion, already planned, already scripted. So it's absolutely.
So what happened to that video? Where did that video go? If you've already written the script, you already had it ready to go, and we were just waiting to see it, where did that go? Because from my memory, my recollection, I don't even remember seeing any kind of video like that.
Not true that I promised compensation for time and vulnerability. That's not what happened. I don't feel that's what happened. I then say, thank you so much for your response. I'd like to note that I disagree with your characterization of the timing and nature of the agreement. That's what I'm talking about when I say that. Nevertheless, I appreciate you giving me an understanding of your viewpoint on the above message. I then say, please grant me a period of time to think about this situation and decide which action is most suitable.
See, you always need time. Why did you need time there? If you said that you were going to do something and you had your mind made up that you were going to donate it for a DV cause, why didn't you just go ahead and donate it to the DV cause without going through all this?
As I've stated, my fear is that your motivations for getting me to make that video were to express a power play over Amberlynn, with whom I believe you're still in regular contact, which they absolutely were still in contact.
So what? They're always going to be in contact. If them two want to talk to each other, it doesn't matter. Emily can go to every single reaction channel out there. Emily can say anything that she wants to say, because Amberlynn's already got on here before. I mean, goodness gracious, Emily was calling her Pocahontas, and Amberlynn is still talking to her.
And I say, I'm not comfortable being a pawn in the mind games between the pair of you, nor am I comfortable financially compensating you for the same. I will be far more comfortable donating this money to a good cause. I see that this option is not acceptable to you, which was me trying to dig her out and be like, girl, just let the money go to charity. But she was not okay with that.
And you should have just went ahead and let the money go straight to Beck, and you should have been okay with that.
Explain, monies accrued in October 2025 are paid by YouTube in November, so there is no rush for a decision. Thank you for your patience. I'll be back in contact in due course. So it's me basically saying, just fucking let us give the money to charity, but in the meantime, there's no rush anyway, so let's just leave it at that. So I wanted to give the money to charity. That was what I was trying to do, and I was saying, either way, there's no rush for a decision because the money doesn't get paid until November anyway.
Okay, did y'all catch that? Did you catch that? She said there was no rush, so there's no rush to even make the decision to go ahead and give it to Beck. There was absolutely no rush to make any kind of decision on where it needed to go to in the first place. But because she wanted to write it off on her taxes, she had already made that decision. And if she gave it to Emily, there was no way she could write it off on her taxes.
And then she says, I don't agree with that. What exactly do you mean by characterization of the timing and nature of the agreement? I've already told you guys what I meant by that. The agreement was made before the video was uploaded, and you confirmed that more than once. The video would not have gone live without that understanding. Now that, it could be that it's true because I already had the video planned and scripted, and she then basically asked me if we could just split this video instead of the finance video as I keep.
Okay, so if you didn't have all the proof or anything, see, this is confusing me now. Because you already had it planned, you already had it scripted, you already had it all ready to go, but you didn't have any of the evidence. You didn't have any of the screenshots. You didn't have anything. You just knew what you were going to say without having proof.
Keep fucking saying, and I said yes. It's possible if I said no, I'm not splitting the money on this video, you need to wait for the finance video, she may have said, oh, don't post that video then, but I highly doubt it because she wanted her side of the story out and she thanked me after the fact, and that's why I thought she was talking to me in the first place. Obviously you can see from these conversations it was never about that, it was about a power play. She says bringing up your own assumptions about my motivations or other people.
You know what happens when you make assumptions about people? When you assume, you make an ace out of you and me. Y'all know that.
It's irrelevant and dismissive. You're basing this off of rumours and no credible sources. That's not true. I knew for a fact that she and Amber were speaking.
And Amber Lynn has confirmed this, and so we know this, and I figured they never stopped speaking in the first place.
And then she says, you do not need more time to think about what is right. You made an agreement and you have an obligation to honour it. I expect payment as promised or confirmation that the video will be removed. Changing the terms after profiting from my story is not a misunderstanding. It's unethical. I have kept this private out of respect for you, but continuing to deny what was agreed only damages your own credibility. So that is...
See, this whole thing, this entire money thing, this has just gotten way too greasy for me. Way too greasy. I'm not even enjoying listening to this. This is tea I just do not want.
Her saying and making it very clear she wants money or she wants the video taken down. And she's basically saying she's keeping this private, and she's saying to me, do one of my two options and I will continue to keep this private. And she...
Isn't that kind of like, just my word, my opinion only? Isn't that kind of like blackmail?
Gave those two options. There was absolutely no way that I was going to pay her, so I therefore took the video down, and you can see this is what I send. So I privated the video, screenshotted that, circled the private logo.
At 201K. And then she ended up, after she privated the video, she put it right back up. So she got her money anyway.
And wrote, you're mischaracterizing the agreement to try and make me look worse than I am. We both know you had given consent for that voice note to be shared before any money was confirmed. At the time, I thought I was agreeing to split money on a finance video with you to help you recuperate lost money from Amber never paying you back, which is the...
Okay, so once again, where is this video? I'm going to go, after I get done with this video, I'm going to go over to her channel, Rachel's channel, and I'm going to see if I can find one where she's already scripted it out, had everything ready to go, because she didn't have proof. So how do you write a script if you don't already have proof?
The reason that I gave her, but actually it's because I wanted the fucking tea on Amber being a scumbag when it comes to money. And I say,
we already know this. Everybody knows this. Everybody's known this. I mean, goodness gracious, we watched Beck Error.
Then became clear that there was a misunderstanding, at which point I changed my mind and agreed to split this video. And if Emily wants to go there, I've got proof of all of that, but I'm not going to put myself on blast for no reason, but I can prove that if I need to. And then I say,
oh, okay. So Rachel's saying, I got the proof, I just ain't gonna show you. If I've got to protect myself, I protect myself. Other than that, I ain't offering you jack diddly squat.
Hey, but the consent for the voice note had already been given. Let's leave this here now. The money will still be donated to a domestic violence charity. I then blocked her, and that is the last thing I have ever said to her. So there it is. That's what was said between she and I. If you are angry with me for the things I've said, I understand. That's what happened.
No, you don't understand. This is nothing but just this water off your back. That's all this is.
That's what I said. It was very clear to me. She wanted the money. She did not want the money to go to charity. It's very clear from those screenshots that is...
It's very clear that you wanted the money to go to charity so that you could write it off on your taxes.
How she felt at that time. I know that these screenshots are going to be discussed and picked apart by people. That's completely fine.
Oh, no, it's not. You don't like that. And you know what? I don't think you're going to like hearing this video that I'm doing on you either.
But that's what happened, right? That's my point of view, the context.
Exactly, your point of view. You want everybody to see the way that you see things, and that's not what's happening.
As the person who was in the conversation and said the things, that's what I was thinking when I said them. Other people are obviously going to give their opinion on it because that's what we do in Girl World, right? And that's completely fine, but that is what...
Now, y'all remember that, so if anybody does a video and they're talking about this, opinions are welcome.
Was said and why I said it and what happened, and there you go. It's pretty clear that somebody who was in that initial Discord basically was mad at me because I said that I didn't like other content creators or I thought their content wasn't very good.
Ooh, who do you not like, Rachel? Come on, I want to see it. I want to see exactly who you don't like and who you were trash talking in Discord.
Good. And, we're all allowed opinions, right? That's what the internet's here for. If I think somebody's content is mid and I say it, that's what I said. That's
Then go ahead and say it now. Go ahead and get ahead of it. There ain't no harm in it.
my opinion. And there you go. I'm not going to backtrack on my opinion just because you guys have all seen me say it, right? I think that this has shown that certain people take Girl World very, very, very personally. To me,
Not me. Like I said, I'm going to do this video and then I'm just going to go on with my life. But of course, I'm going to do the video and I'm going to give my opinion. And like you said, I'm entitled to it.
that's not what this is. This isn't personal. I'm reporting and talking and covering.
Now you're a reporter? Oh, okay. I thought you were just a commentary channel. That's what I thought you were, a reaction channel. Well, I guess I was wrong on that.
On what's going on. This is something I do that makes me money, and also it's something I find very interesting. If someone doesn't like my content, that's completely fine. We're all allowed to have opinions, right? I don't think we need to be attacking other creators and sharing the faces, names, and voices of private individuals.
Ooh, you're getting defensive because you know exactly what you said and you know it's all gonna come to light
during that process. But if that's what you want to do, you do you. I personally think it's a little bit strange, and I've seen the people in this creators Discord, they're all circle jerking and laughing and talking with each other, and it's hilarious because they don't.
Then why are you even in the daggum Discord? Don't even go in there. Stay out of other people's Discords. Just stay on your own daggum channel and you'll be a lot happier.
Even know how to read a date, and they're all excited, and there's loads of moral grandstanding going on, and they're all really excited and happy.
Moral grandstanding, that's all you've been doing this entire daggum video.
And talking with their Discord buddies about the tea that they've gotten about me, when in fact they didn't actually get very much tea at all. And I just think that's kind of funny. The final thing I'm going to do is talk a little bit.
You thought this entire thing is funny. This is nothing but a joke to you. You're just doing this trying to save face.
Now about just my channel, my content, talk to you guys as my viewers. So when this...
And I'm not a viewer, I'm just a reaction channel reacting to your video.
Channel started, I started talking about Girl World, I started getting views, and I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was literally this is crazy. People are watching me, I'm being paid for this, and
Ooh, are y'all ready for the manipulation? Okay, I can already feel it. I can feel it. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
I had no idea how to handle it, and that is just the complete truth. I was trying to be myself, but I was also very scared. I was like, I don't want people to dislike me, I don't want people to hate me, and I cared a lot what people thought about me. I absolutely did, and I was trying to be...
Did, which means she doesn't care right now exactly what you think about her.
Be myself and be real, because
I'm myself all the time. Sometimes, hey, I'm bipolar. I say one moment I'm this way, next moment I'm that, and I admit it 100%.
Very direct person. I say what I think. I'm comfortable making people feel uncomfortable if necessary. I'm not shy.
Oh, you're making me feel extremely uncomfortable. You've done it this entire video.
If I say something, I generally stand by it. If I'm wrong, I put my hands up and say, I was wrong about that,
Nope, this one has always been, this entire video has been, ooh, 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 look over there, look over there.
I love when people disagree with me. One of the biggest markers of me knowing that somebody is a real friend of mine is that they will say to me, you're wrong about that. And I'll be like, oh, geez, am I? And that's one thing about my...
You don't question yourself. You ain't questioning yourself, and through this entire thing, you were standing by everything that you had to say.
Degree is, when you study philosophy, you realise that if you live in an echo chamber...
I don't study philosophy. I do not. I'm just a mama on the internet running my dag-blame mouth.
Where you don't take in any new information, you're never willing to consider changing your mind because you don't get any new information, right? That's one thing that I don't do as a person. I genuinely don't. If you want to give me information, I will listen, because I think the more I get, I can then weigh it up and decide what to do with it. And sure, some of...
Or she can decide to, hey, I can use this to make my ching, so why not go ahead and do it anyway?
My weighing up in this situation might have been a little bit skewed, but at all points during this process, I was trying to do my best. I genuinely was. And I was trying to do it whilst also put myself publicly on a big public platform where thousands...
Oh, I know there's going to be people that disagree with me, and hey, I understand 100%. That's the whole point of being on the internet.
So people were watching me for the first time ever, and I fumbled it. I fumbled a lot of things in this situation. And one thing I really want to say to you guys, my viewers, people who are bothering to watch this video, you've watched the whole way through, you're at 1 hour 20 something now, maybe probably cut a lot out, but you're watching me, right? And this is who I am. I just want to say to you guys, I've tried my best to handle this.
And I hope through this entire video, I have showed you exactly who I am.
Channel the best way I could, but I have absolutely made so many mistakes, and I've learned from them. And I'm not going to be scared.
Then you shouldn't be standing behind all of this, and you shouldn't be sitting here going, you know what, I'm better than you.
off the internet. I'm not going to stop making content. I'm not going to stop covering the girls. So I'm not going to stop just because I fucked up, but I'm absolutely going to say I fucked up. Here's what happened. And if you guys go through...
She's saying, you know what, I'm telling you, you can take it, like it, lump it, throw it. It don't matter what you do. I'm still going to do what I want to do.
This situation, you see everything I've said in this video and whatever else, you know, you weigh up what I've shown you, what you've seen, what I've done, and all of that. If you come to the conclusion then that you don't think my coverage of Girl World is valuable to you, or you don't like it, you just don't like me, you don't want to watch it, whatever, that's genuinely completely fine. My goal now...
She's telling you, y'all don't unsubscribe from me. Y'all still watch me. Y'all still do what you need to do whenever it comes to me, because I still want y'all to come and give me money. And your views give me money.
It's just to be like, this is what I think. Here we are. And if you don't like it and you don't agree, let me know in the comments, by all means, and we can talk
or you can just go ahead and go find another channel that you relate with, like I was saying earlier.
About it. But the one thing I will say, and what I will add, is I chose this life, right? I chose to insert myself into Girl World. I purposefully inserted myself into this community. And Girl...
And you know what? I did the same, but I started out as an baby, and I even did a video over myself, calling myself out from years ago whenever I did my videos supporting Amberlynn Reid.
World gets a bad reputation on the internet. People who don't cover it make one video about Girl World and their comments are full of people being like, oh my god, don't do it, you know, don't get into it, it's a total mess. I don't agree. I like Girl World. I enjoy the debate and the discussion. And
oh, so you're enjoying this, aren't you? Look at that. That's the reason why she's got a smile on her face, guys. We figured it out. It took us all the way to the end. We figured it out. This ain't nothing but a joke.
I know that people in this community, the way this community works is people talk about each other. That's what we do. That's how Girl World works. So I made this YouTube channel with my full government face, you know, my name, my face. Here I am.
Hey, usually my face is on here. 100% usually it is. But you know what? Right now it is 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired and I'm in my PJs.
Giving my opinion. I chose this, right? I'm fine with people talking about whatever they want because that's what Girl World is. If I didn't want to do it and I didn't want to be a part of it and I didn't want people talking about my face, my name, whatever, if I didn't want people talking about me and my...
Oh, are you referring to whenever Amberlynn was talking about your looks? Are you referring to that by any chance? Could it be that you've already watched Amberlynn's video? Could that possibly be a thing? We wouldn't know.
My takes and what I've done or whatever in their own communities, then I could just stop making videos. So I'm never going to be angry and butthurt at people, at you, for talking about me in your communities, because that's what I do. I talk about people.
See, I don't say communities. I always say community because, yeah, well, maybe I'm the one that's wrong, because I think that we're all intertwined together. Once you talk about Girl World, once you're in Girl World, you are in Girl World until you decide that you're going to step all the way out.
In my community, right? And I'm comfortable and fine with that discourse because that's what Girl World is. And that's why I've made this video, because I actually think the best way to handle this situation is just be like, there you go, that's what happened.
See, there you go, like it, lump it, don't really care, I'm gonna shove it down your throat anyway.
And you can go talk about it if you indeed want to. I'm going to continue trying my absolute best to apply everything that I've learned from this situation to...
What have you learned? I mean, genuine question. Genuine question. What have you learned? Because listening to this entire thing, all you've done is you've put the blame on someone else and not on yourself.
The future, and we'll just have to see what happens, right?
See, if it wasn't for Charlie Gold posting all of these, nobody would know any of this information, or whoever leaked them, nobody would know this kind of information, so it's not even your fault that the information got out. Right, Rachel?
But I'm not going to stop making my content, and we'll just have to see how you guys take it. So I think some more stuff is probably going to come out. I don't know who's going to release what, I don't know who's going to say what, but we'll just have to see. But what I am probably going to do is watch Amber's live stream with you guys, because I know she says a lot of stuff about me, and I think it might be quite funny for us to cover that. So that's...
See, she's like, cha-ching, 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 ching, ching. Amberlynn, I tell you, when you want to talk about reaction channels, I always tell the girls, if you're going to talk about a reaction channel, you're just calling them, and as soon as you say their name, that just means that's money in the pocket.
That's what we're going to do next. Thank you all for listening to what I have to say, and yeah, we'll see what happens now. No idea how it's going to go down, but we'll see. I think I'll leave it there. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, Rachel. All right, guys. Yeah, like I said, y'all probably aren't going to agree with half the things I have to say. And you know what? That is perfectly fine by me because I'm just over here running my mouth. And most of the time, I got a lot to say with absolutely no point behind it. But, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that just a little bit. And if you made it all the way to the end, why don't y'all go ahead and try to hit subscribe for me? Because, yes, I talk about both girls over here. So, I want to say to you, I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year. Whenever you might be watching this, and remember to smile today or make somebody else smile because it really can make a difference. And why do I sing it? I don't know. I've always sung it, and it's just my outro. I don't even know how I came up with it. It just all of a sudden popped up one day, and hey, I sang it. Okay, we're gonna get out of here because I've already kept you long enough. But y'all make sure you go do one thing for me besides subscribe. Besides do that. Y'all make sure y'all go find a mirror and you smile into it. You want to know why? Because you deserve it, especially after watching something like this. But all right, guys, y'all have a good one for me. Bye.